You spend extra money eating clean, buying premium greens, and blending specialized smoothies every morning. Yet you might still be dealing with unexplained fatigue, joint pain, or daily gut distress. The cause of those symptoms is likely sitting right in your crisper drawer. Plants survive by deploying invisible chemical defenses. We fall into something called the health halo trap. Food marketing pulls out a single positive metric, like high vitamin C or heavy antioxidants, and prints it in bold letters on the package. But that label ignores the complex chemical reality of what you are swallowing. This sliding bar chart illustrates the health halo spectrum. Up top, in green, you see the perceived health benefits that get all the marketing attention. But layered underneath, those inverted red bars show the food's actual hidden chemical load. That load is made up of natural plant defense mechanisms called antinutrients, combined with heavy metals pulled from modern agricultural soils. Human biology operates on dose-dependent toxicity. Eating a handful of these foods once a week is perfectly fine. But as those red bars rapidly expand downwards, you can see what happens when you consume massive quantities of concentrated plant compounds every single day. A small, manageable dose turns into toxic accumulation. This is a basic mathematical reality of how human biology processes agricultural inputs. Your liver and kidneys have specific daily filtration limits. We are going to identify the specific high-risk foods dominating the health aisle right now, and then build a definitive replacement guide to bypass those toxins entirely. True health optimization means ignoring these superfood marketing label and honestly calculating the biological tax these foods impose on your body. The first risk category includes foods heavily marketed for their fiber or antioxidant content. The problem is that these specific crops are highly efficient at actively pulling heavy metals out of the soil. The two worst offenders are brown rice and raw cacao. This cross-section shows bioaccumulation. Arsenic particles from flooded soil get permanently trapped in the highlighted outer bran layer of brown rice. Gaining 2 grams of fiber means chronic arsenic exposure. The replacement is white rice. Stripping that toxic layer leaves a clean, safe carbohydrate. To make up for that small nutritional gap, you can source your daily fiber from low-toxicity root vegetables, like sweet potatoes or carrots. Daily raw cacao and dark chocolate carry an almost identical risk. Cacao plants are incredibly effective at soaking up cadmium and lead from the earth, delivering a heavy metal payload straight into your afternoon snack. You have 2 options here. You either stop eating dark chocolate every day, or you commit to spending heavily on premium brands that provide rigorous, third-party lab testing for heavy metals. Taking on a massive heavy metal burden for a slight increase in fiber or antioxidants is a negative biological return on investment. The second risk category involves blending massive quantities of specific raw plants into a concentrated liquid. Raw spinach and almonds are the main culprits. Spinach protects itself from pests using a specific anti-nutrient called an oxalate. When you pack 3 cups of raw spinach into a morning smoothie, you deliver an absolute overload of oxalates straight into your gut. This split-screen graphic shows exactly how that biological interaction plays out. On the left, you see these jagged, needle-like oxalate crystals found in spinach. On the right are smooth, spherical calcium molecules. When they meet in your digestive tract, the oxalates actively bind to essential minerals like calcium and iron. Because the oxalates bind to those minerals, your body can't absorb them efficiently. Over time, this leads to mineral deficiencies and the potential formation of oxalate crystals lodging in your joints or kidneys. Almonds present a similar problem. Drinking high volumes of almond milk or baking with almond flour introduces massive amounts of an anti-nutrient called phytic acid. To fix the smoothie problem, replace high oxalate spinach with low oxalate greens like arugula or romaine lettuce. You get the micronutrients without the chemical defense system. Next, replace your almond flour and almond milk with coconut-based alternatives. This eliminates the heady phytic acid load entirely. Loading your diet with micronutrients loses its impact if you simultaneously consume high levels of anti-nutrients that inhibit their absorption. The final category features natural alternatives to table sugar. Agave syrup and commercial acai bowls are aggressively marketed as healthy, but act as metabolic disruptors. Agave is almost entirely concentrated fructose. Because it lacks mitigating fruit fiber, that fast-absorbing fructose load severely strains your liver's processing limits. Prepared acai bowls operate the same way. This line graph tracks blood sugar. The red line shows a massive, rapid spike driven by agave and acai consumption. Notice how it completely breaks from the flat, stable green baseline of stevia. You might be successfully avoiding artificial sweeteners and refined white sugar, but you are still triggering the exact same biological damage as eating candy. The strategy here is simple. Replace agave entirely with zero glycemic options like stevia or monk fruit. For breakfast bowls, build them yourself at home. Use whole, low glycemic berries so the intact fruit fiber slows down your digestion. A massive sugar spike damages your metabolism identically, regardless of whether that sugar was manufactured in a factory or squeezed directly from an agave plant. A food is only a true superfood if your specific biology and budget can safely process its hidden downsides. This swap matrix categorizes the marketed superfood, its hidden toxin, and your safer replacement. This quadrant chart reveals that standard staples, like white rice and cruciferous vegetables, yield a higher biological return and are safer than premium alternatives. For the everyday healthy eater, these are simple one-to-one grocery swaps. Grabbing a box of arugula instead of spinach or coconut milk instead of almond requires zero extra time or money, but drastically reduces your lifetime toxin load. If you are a dedicated health optimizer who insists on keeping complex superfoods in your diet, you must actively rotate your greens week to week, and you must demand third-party heavy metal testing from your supplement brands. Evaluate your personal baseline today. If you have joint pain, gut distress, or constant fatigue, these hidden chemical loads are the very first variables you should eliminate to see if your symptoms clear. Effective health optimization relies on minimizing unforced biological errors through data-driven choices rather than reacting to health aisle marketing trends.